Hey, Year 4!
Check out this week's work.
We're going to talk you through it to make sure that you understand it.
This week in PE, we'd like you to try some yoga. Yoga can play many benefits in our lives. It can help improve focus, memory, self-esteem, academic performance, and even classroom behaviour. So why not start your days with some clarity and a sense of peace? Enjoy.
It's fantastic to see how well all of you are doing with your times tables on TT Rockstars. Keep it up, and we can't wait to see who's going to be a rock hero by the time you come back to school. As well as doing your times tables this week, what we also want you to look at is fractions. To start off with, you're going to be adding and subtracting those fractions. This is something which we've done before. And when you're doing fractions, remember some key vocabulary. You want to be thinking about your numerator, which is the number on top, and the denominator, which is the number on the bottom. The denominator on the bottom of the fraction tells you how many parts your whole has been split into. So for example, if you had a pizza and that pizza was cut into 4 slices, then the number on the bottom of your fraction is going to be 4. Your numerator, which is the number on the top, that tells you how many parts you have. Or perhaps if you're thinking about the pizza, if you were to eat 2 slices, then the numerator on top would be 2. So if you had your pizza split into 4 slices and you ate 2 of them, then you would have eaten 2 over 4, or 2 quarters. But we also know that 2 quarters is the same as 1/2. So a rule to think of when you're adding and subtracting your fractions is to only add your numerator. Remember that your denominator does not change. Another top tip for adding and subtracting fractions is to make sure that your denominators are both the same. It makes it so much easier to add and subtract. So, if I had 1/2 and I wanted to add 1/4, what I need to make sure is that both those denominators are the same. So I'm going to be thinking about my equivalent fractions. I can then change the 1/2 into 2 quarters. And I can add that to 1/4, which means 2 add 1 on my numerators is 3, and my denominator doesn't change. So I'm left with 3 quarters, or 3 over 4. Moving on with fractions, what you're going to be looking at is calculating fractions of an amount. To do this, you're going to need your division skills, because division and fraction go really, really well together. Have a look through the videos that have been supplied for you on the White Rose website, and that will help you to understand how to calculate. However, what you really need to remember is to divide your quantity by the denominator and then times it by the numerator. In the video on the website, they show you using a bar model. That might be a really good way to write it down so that you can clearly see the different parts of the whole number. I hope you've all been practicing on your TT Rockstars. I'm really excited to see who's been practicing every single day and has been working their way up to becoming a rock legend.
This week in reading, we're taking a look at a new twist on Snow White. She's in New York. Read the text and answer the question.
Native American tribes would often keep moving around the land and following the migration of the bison. The bison is a large, horned, ox-like animal that the Native Americans hunted. The teepee then was so easily assembled and disassembled, and it allowed for a lifestyle for following these animals. This week, we would like you to research the teepee and design and create your own.
This week in Spanish, we're focusing on hobbies. Learn all the words you can, and then have a discussion with your family and tell them what your hobbies are in Spanish.
This week, you will go on a mindfulness hunt. So, you and someone in your family can challenge each other to find 3 things. It could be something in your garden, like a daisy, It could be something in your home, like a picture of a loved one. You can make it as hard or as easy as you want. But once you find each of these items, you must complete the 3 tasks on the sheet provided. Allow yourself to stop and to breathe, to be in the moment and concentrate on what you have just found and concentrate on how this makes you feel. Enjoy.
It's time to learn this. It might be kind of tough, like learning cursive. Everything I say, it has a purpose. Just so you know, I'm talking circuits.
This week in science, we're going to be looking at open and closed circuits. Using the slides and information on the website Learning Circuits, you're going to be able to create your own circuits online. I hope this is a fun and interactive week for you. Enjoy!
This week for literacy, you're going to be continuing with The Wolves of Curranpaw. Have a read of the next part of the book. You should be able to identify some of the characters' feelings and try to explain why they're feeling that way. You might want to use some of the emotion word mats which we've included for you. When you're explaining why, think about what their actions are showing you. One of your next tasks is one of my favourite things to do. It's to create some dialogue between 2 characters. We've included some videos to help you understand how to use inverted commas or speech marks. You can watch these videos and try and do the interactive activities on the BBC Bitesize website in order to help you understand how to use them. If you're not sure, you can have a look through the book or your own books to see if you can find some examples of how inverted commas have been used. Try to challenge yourself to put the reported clause either at the beginning or at the end or even in the middle so that you can vary the type of speech that you're writing. For your third task, we want you to look at some of the challenging vocabulary that is used in The Wolves of Curranpaw. There are lots of tricky words in the book, and some of them you may not be sure of what they mean. So, if you've got a dictionary at home, you can use it, or you could use an online dictionary. Once you've found out the definitions, try creating some flashcards which you could test your whole family with. We've included some examples on the PowerPoint slide to help you. And finally, what we want you to do is to give your opinion based on a statement. Now, the statement is written on the PowerPoint for you to look at. And what you need to do is you need to carefully consider what evidence there is in the book to help you make up your mind about how you feel. Make sure you try to include some conjunctions to help you join your opinion with the evidence. All the Year 4 teachers are so incredibly proud of each and every one of you. We cannot wait to see all of the hard work that you've been up to. So really, keep up the good work, everyone.
This week in history, you will be learning about the spiritual practices of the Indigenous people of America. Your task is to familiarise yourself about certain Native American customs and traditions, and you are going to be writing a report using all of this information. Try and include information about their spiritual practices, the food they ate, the roles the men and women played, and how they lived day to day. Use your researching skills to help you complete this report.
Until next time!
Keep up the great work.
Stay safe and have fun.